This is our top 20 quarterback rankings, and in this video we're doing our tops 1 through 10. Starting here at number 1, we're going over with Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's got to be my number 1 at this point. He's absolutely electrifying the way that he can run the football and throw the football in combination. And the additions, right? We're talking about Derrick Henry. Should be able to keep a lot of people, honest over you. They got to be up to the box. They got to stop Derrick Henry. Probably a lot of run, play action passes. Who knows? Got to keep the defense guessing. Zay Flowers in year 2, build a little bit more chemistry. Mark Andrews there, healthy and strong. Isaiah likely got a lot of experience last year when Mark Andrews was hurt. I think this offense is going to continue to flourish. Looks like Lamar Jackson probably losing a little bit more weight, probably kind of toning up a little bit. He might be even stay even healthier as all get out this year. So I'm super excited about what Lamar Jackson can bring to your fantasy team if you draft him as the number 1 overall guy. I see him going out there just lighting the NFL on fire, once again giving you an MVP-like season. He can go out there with all the weapons that he has, and then adding Derrick Henry on top of that, I think that was kind of the cream of the crop for me, which pushed Lamar Jackson all the way up to number 1 on my list. Coming at number 2, it's going to be a shocker. Yes, number 2 on my list, we're talking about Anthony Richardson. I know you guys are like, man, he's only played a couple games. It doesn't matter. He had a number 2 finish, a number 4 finish. The dude was phenomenal. He's not going to change the way that he plays football. He's going to continue to be running the ball all the time. We're seeing multiple rushes for touchdowns per game, even with Jonathan Taylor is going to be back on the field. But just speaking of Jonathan Taylor, right? You got a lot of run play action pass with him as well. Are you going to stop Jonathan Taylor? Are you going to stop Anthony Richardson? Michael Pittman on the outside. Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. I love that situation. Is going to allow Josh Downs to go into the slot. Alec Pierce there as the 4th wide receiver. And don't forget about Jelani Woods coming back. 6'7", freak athlete tight end. He should be healthy going into training camp. Should be phenomenal for Anthony Richardson. If this entire group can just stay healthy, you're going to see Anthony Richardson go to the cream of the crop. I have him at number 2 on my list. The thing that he is going to be able to do for you consistently is have a high floor in fantasy football, and that is what you need when you want a fantasy football quarterback. Again, he's got to be able to stay healthy, but I think he's going to be able to score so many points. I believe he does stay healthy. I think he continues to grow. He's still fresh. He didn't start a lot of games in college at the University of Florida, and he didn't start a lot of games in NFL. But what we saw, a little bit of glimpse of what Anthony Richardson can give you, boy, I'm telling you, he gives me some hope that fantasy football could be on the rise with Anthony Richardson being on top of the mountain. Going here at number 3, yes, I do now have Jalen Hurts. There's some caveats here though, right? I do have Jalen Hurts taking a step back. If Jason Kelce was still on the Eagles, I would probably have Jalen Hurts above Anthony Richardson, but the Jason Kelce signing, I had to go ahead and put him down a little bit. I think the tush push was more about Kelce and less about Jalen Hurts. And then you add on top of that Saquon Barkley coming to the mix. Saquon's going to take some of those goal line carries. They didn't pay Saquon Barkley all this money, a high-touted NFL running back, to come into the Philadelphia Eagles just to say, hey, just be a decoy for us. It's not going to work. We're going to see a decrease in the rushing touchdowns that you see from Jalen Hurts. I'm putting my flag down here. And even if Jalen Hurts finishes outside of the top 5, it would not shock me here in 2024 just based on this offense and how it is going to be running. But again, I do like Jalen Hurts overall. I just like him a little bit less this year than I did last year. Going over here at number 4, we're going over Josh Allen, another quarterback with a very high fantasy football floor. A lot of people have Josh Allen probably as their number 1 quarterback overall, but let's face it, he's got all brand new weapons. No more Stephon Diggs, no more Gabe Davis. In comes a lot more other plethora of weapons. They still have Dalton Kincaid there at the tight end position. Keon Coleman, the wide receiver out of Florida State, comes over. He is the rookie. He is the guy. Curtis Samuel is going to be there as well. And we always know there's Khalil Shakir there as well. But no highly touted type of wide receivers for Josh Allen. Will that hurt him overall in fantasy? Probably just a little bit. But again, with his rushing floor that he gives you, he is still going to be a top quarterback in fantasy football, but he had to drop to number 4 for me. Coming in at number 5, I'm going over Patrick Mahomes, and it kind of feels like they're retooling the Kansas City Chiefs offense here. They're going out there getting Xavier Worthy. They got Marquise Hollywood Brown there on the outside. We don't know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. We don't know. They just signed Mecole Hardman back to a 1-year deal. We always know Travis Kelce. He reworked the 2-year deal. Isaiah Pacheco is now working into the mix a little bit more. He should see 15 to 18 touches or carries a game. That should bode well for Isaiah Pacheco as well. But let's just face it, right? Patrick Mahomes, probably one of the greatest quarterbacks to probably ever play the game. He's up there, top echelon. He can make it happen. When Tyreek Hill ended up leaving the offense, they were like, I don't know. He still did it. He was still producing the numbers for us. So again, in fantasy football, you're most likely to have Patrick Mahomes if you can tag him up with the Travis Kelce. That's great, but overall, I had to put him here at my number 5 quarterback. Coming in at number 6, we're going over CJ Stroud. He went ahead and jumped a lot of people. They're adding more pieces, right? When you add somebody like Stephon Diggs, and you add Joe Mixon to the mix, it's making this offense even more electric. They ended up re-signing Dalton Schultz there at the tight end position. They've already got Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Tank Dell should be healthy and strong by the time week 1 starts. So the offense is completely loaded, and CJ Stroud has shown us he can put multiple fantasy players on the map, and he's going to have to do that this year. There's a lot of people that need to get some touches. I think CJ Stroud can do it, and I think overall you're going to see a lot of fireworks from CJ Stroud. Now, the next guy we're going to go over here is from the Bengals. It's going to be Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, he just needs to stay healthy, right? What's going to happen with T. Higgins? As of the recording of this video, we don't know what's going to happen with T. Higgins. That's why they ended up drafting Jermaine Burton, the wide receiver out of Alabama, kind of the one-liner kind of burner. But look for a big season from Jamar Chase, he wants to get back into the I'm the elite wide receiver role. He's kind of taken a bit of a step back because of his injuries and then Joe Burrow's injuries. He's not putting up the numbers that he's used to be able to see. But look, from here on out this season, I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase link up quite a bit to show them that the Bengals are still here to win. They're still here to produce some fantasy football points for you, and they want to prove to everybody in the NFL that they still have the juice. So we're over here at number 8, probably the darling as far as fantasy football quarterback go. We're going Dak Prescott. He could put up some crazy numbers, and 350 to 400 yards passing is easy for Dak Prescott, and he does it quite often. Coming over there with a wide receiver like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has shown us he is a prime alpha dog in the NFL and a top fantasy wide receiver for us. That Dak has the precious commodities of having somebody like a CeeDee Lamb. Also has Brandon Cooks, don't forget about that. And Jalen Tolbert is going to be the 3rd wide receiver here, and they're looking to get him a little bit more involved. And don't forget about the touchdown dependent Jake Ferguson as well. They ended up getting Ezekiel Elliott back there at the running back position. Tony Pollard is now gone with the Tennessee Titans. Looks like Rico Dowdle and Zeke's going to probably split the carries there at the running back position. But I do like Dak Prescott here at number 8 for me. I think overall he puts up some stellar numbers for you consistently and a really good fantasy football quarterback. Coming here over at number 9, we're talking about Jordan Love. Somebody's really kind of opened my eyes as of late. He's got some weapons. He just needs them to stay healthy, like Christian Watson. Can the guy stay healthy? Romeo Dupes is there, but I think Jaden Reed steps up, and I've said this in a previous video. I think Jaden Reed steps up, and he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver for this offense. I really like Jaden Reed. They also have Wicks there as well. Tight end position, got 2 good ones, Musgrave and Kraft. And at the running back position, right, there goes Aaron Jones out the window. In comes Josh Jacobs. They ended up drafting someone called Marshawn Lloyd. I think Marshawn Lloyd's probably going to take that number 1 running back role sooner rather than later, but we'll kind of go over that in a later video as well. But Jordan Love, a good young quarterback, was able to sit behind Aaron Rodgers and learn, and we're also now to see the fruits of that labor of him being able to sit there to learn behind an established quarterback, and now given the opportunity, he's out there slinging the football and making fantasy points happen. And to end this video, we're going over number 10 here. We're going with Kyler Murray, and boy, oh boy, did he get an upgrade with Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the most electric wide receivers we have seen come out since probably Calvin Johnson. I mean, dude, he's a big body type of guy, 6'4" wide receiver, out there going to make some plays, and he is the bona fide number 1 wide receiver here. So Kyler Murray is going to have to link up with this guy early and often to be fantasy relevant, and I think he does. And don't forget about the weapon he has at tight end, Trey McBride. So there's a little bit of weapons here for Kyler Murray to make it happen. James Conner's definitely in the backfield, getting a little bit longer in the tooth. I think Kyler Murray's going to put a lot more on his shoulders to produce for you for fantasy football. I love Kyler Murray this year, and that's why I have him at number 10. Guys, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers. We're putting out multiple videos each and every week, sometimes 3 to 4 videos every week leading up to your fantasy football drafts to help you pick and dominate the best team possible. Ultimately, at the end of the season, we want you guys to hold up a trophy with the rest of us. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.